It seems to me that nothing will ever be enough for the evil in this world. Our country has become unrecognizable. These people have perverted the truth to the point that they motivated the murder of my husband. They have continuously tried to assassinate the president, and anyone who stands in their way is labeled hateful, racist, fascist, and every other trigger word that is grossly dishonest.
So Erika Kirk released a video on Twitter, and I kind of want to talk about it because it's kind of insane, and I just think, I don't know, it's just giving delusion. But before we get into that, hey guys, welcome back to The Burrow. And if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm T, and here on my channel I talk about pretty much anything I want, but mostly religion, pop culture, black culture, and anything adjacent to that. It's been a while. I got a new camera, as you can obviously tell, and I actually already did film this exact video before, and none of my recording saved. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a wee update as to why I've been away for so long, even though I said I would be back and be more consistent. I don't know if you can tell, but the eczema on my neck is kind of getting better. It's lightening up. I am on a bit of a treatment from my dermatologist, so I'm babbling. So if you haven't already seen the video that Erika Kirk posted, then I'm really, really sorry I'm going to do this to you. But basically, she posted this video. I don't know if it was first on Twitter that she posted it, but I saw it on Twitter. And I just thought that it was just... It's just very, very Erika Kirk. And it's pathetic. So I wanted to talk about it here. Because why not? Oh no, my camera is low battery. This camera, bro. This fucking camera. So we're gonna watch this together and we're gonna laugh. So buckle up, get your drink, get your smoke. I've got my little Labubong water pipe here. And yeah, let's go. Let's get into the video.
Nothing will ever be enough for the evil in this world. Our country has become unrecognizable. These people have perverted the truth to the point that they motivated the murder of my husband. They have continuously...
Who is these people? She always says stuff like this, like these people, those people. Like, I'm guessing she's talking about the left, but the left isn't a monolith, as I'm sure she would agree that the right also isn't a monolith, because there's some very horrible people on the right. So who on the left exactly is she like talking about? Because I know for a fact it's not the majority of us. Like, it's not me. It's not my cats. It's not my fucking cousin. So who are you talking about, Erika? Name some names. Maybe she will.
Tried to assassinate the president, and anyone who stands in their way is labeled hateful, racist, fascist, and every other trigger word that is grossly dishonest.
No, anyone who is a racist or who's hateful or who's a fascist is labeled as such. Not just any random person who we don't agree with. Like, we're not like you guys.
We want the best for our country. They don't. This is why Charlie started Turning Point USA in the first place.
I'm sorry, we want the best for our country? Ever since Donald Trump has gone into power, America's gone to shit. Is this the best for your country? Because you're doing a piss poor job. Ugh, she like actually pisses me off so bad.
Trust the radicalized liberal teachers. And this past Saturday, it was a school teacher, of all people, a school teacher, that attempted to change our history for the worst with bullets. And
I find that part really funny where she's like, he didn't trust the radical left teachers. Didn't Charlie Kirk only get like a high school diploma? Like, he didn't have any secondary education. So like, how would he know about these left radical teachers, especially because he went to go debate with kids in unis and he never went to uni? So how would he fucking know what's going on if he never went? Like, who's he not able to trust if he never fucking went? Like, what?
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted...
Oh my God, my alarm just went off. All right. Oh, and now the video is buffering. You know what? I'm just going to play the rest of the video on the screen for you guys to see, because I'm not doing this whole kerfuffle, and also my camera is blinking and I'm not about to lose all of this again. Like, I'm not doing that. So I'll play the rest of the video here.
Attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me? So, for example, a journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss." To which I replied, "It is so nice to put a name to the face, especially with all of the slander, the lies, accusations that are out there surrounding my husband's murder and myself." And I said to her, "You know what's so interesting? This is my first time at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I find it so fascinating, the dynamic that is going on right now, because everyone is all dressed up and you guys are co-mingling in and out of each other's cocktail parties. And so for one night, you are able to put aside all of your differences for the sake of freedom of speech. And then by Monday morning, things will go back to being an absolute bloodbath between all of you. To which she replied, literally, she said, I know, isn't it special, right? Isn't tonight so special? And following that conversation, it was time to take our seats, and we went into the big ballroom where the dinner was. And one of the first things I noticed when I walked into that room was quite literally the proximity of the opposing outlets to one another. So you have one table here that's Politico, and another table here that's Fox, and another table here that's WAPO, and you're all crammed together, elbow to elbow. And to make the night even more of a spectacle, every single 10-person table had 10 bottles of wine. And the president of the White House Correspondents Association, she did a great job of trying to make the evening have that feeling of Americana. You know, we were in a room celebrating freedom of speech despite our differences. And the U.S. Marine Band performed the national anthem so beautifully. And then shortly thereafter, gunshots rang out and total chaos ensued. And you guys have all seen what happened next because there are 1,000 videos of it. So let's discuss that fact for a second. If you were in that room, you had no way of knowing what the status of the shooter was, how many there were, or honestly, really anything. It was just utter chaos. And so during an active shooting, these journalists are using their phones to find moments to capture for clips. They were so concerned about getting a video in a room with an active shooter that they could have accidentally and quite literally filmed themselves being shot. Many of those people have become so desensitized that fight or flight became secondary to the opportunity of putting themselves into the story, which ironically breaks the #1 rule of journalism. And again, ironically enough, the shooter was a teacher. You have these people who are supposed to be teaching our children the future of this country, and he's so unhinged that he is able to teach children by day and then attempt to murder the president of the United States by night. And in his manifesto, he starts by contextualizing himself by saying, I am a citizen of the United States of America. And while we may have big problems with illegal immigration in this country, I have to tell you, we have an even bigger problem when it comes to the systemic indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens. This is what got my husband killed. This is what has led to 3 legitimate attempts on President Trump's life. And I can speak firsthand to that unbearable toll that this must take on our First Lady. There has never been a president who has faced this many assassination attempts in Americans' entire history. And after each one, the reaction from the far left has been, at best, a shrug, and in some cases, a sick disappointment that the shooter was unsuccessful. We are all human beings. And if you can just pause and just take a minute and ask yourself, how would you feel if even just one person made cruel jokes about the attempted murder of your loved one? That is what Jimmy Kimmel did to the First Lady. He said that she had the glow of an expected widow. The glow of an expected widow. Just 48 hours before that nightmare almost became a reality. And this culture we're living in absorbs disagreement as a form of personal betrayal. It turns having an opposing viewpoint into a moral crime worthy of punishment. And here's what I've realized through all of this, truly, having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all. Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on. There is a serious epidemic of dehumanization plaguing this country. The most unthinkable tragedies have now become commonplace in our daily headlines, and yet the media finds a way to conveniently explain away violence. This is what we're up against. This is what we're up against. What is happening right now is something none of us can afford to ignore. The evil forces working to divide us, to distract us, and to pull us apart has never been stronger. This is a moment for Americans to come together and decide what kind of country we are going to be before we lose our country altogether. In Romans chapter 12, verse 21, it says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And this is why my husband created Turning Point USA, so we could have civil discourse and debate and open dialogue, because when we stop talking to each other, bad things happen. I am choosing to fight for America, for my children, for your children, and for our humanity, because we all need to do our part. And by the grace of God, we will succeed, and America will remain what she was always called to be, a shining city on a hill, a light to the world. So let me give you a perfect example of how it's done. My husband did it best and left us the blueprint on how to have uncomfortable conversations with those who disagree. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
But yeah, I mean, as you can see, Erika Kirk is a joke. She's just blatantly just like lying. Obviously about Candace Owens, when she said that Candace said that she killed her husband, which Candace has never actually said that. She just says that she thinks the whole, killing of Charlie was weird, and she thinks it's weird how Erika isn't really fighting for her husband and for justice, which it does come across that way. So that absolutely is a lie. And for her to lie so blatantly when she could literally just pop any of Candace's clips, because her stuff is online, like she doesn't hide it. She could just put anything that Candace has outwardly said and use that against her if she wanted to. But no, she just made up something up, like straight out of her fucking ass. And it's like, that's a lie. And I'm not even a Candace Owens fan, but that's just a fucking lie, and that's not the truth. And I feel like the more and more Erika Kirk comes online and she talks and just does this whole, oh guys, like the radical left, like leave me alone, like I'm more, the more she does that, the more people's sympathy for her continues to die. Like the first video that she made talking about it, I think people were more sympathetic to that because it was obviously very fresh. She hadn't really milked it. Even some people on the left were sympathetic to her. I mean, obviously I felt sorry for her. I didn't like Charlie Kirk, but obviously no one deserves to die that way. And it's not even like she's dragging his death, because obviously that's a horrific thing. That's her loved one. Her husband literally died. So of course she's going to be sad. But it's one thing to mourn and then one thing to capitalize and essentially just sell out your mourning and sell out the death of your husband. I think there's just something so perverse about that, especially because she does have young children. So like, where are her kids? Because obviously her kids are mourning too. Don't you think maybe you might want to take some time out of the spotlight to like focus on this really tough transition time with your kids? I feel like that's why people are so unsympathetic towards her, because they're thinking, this whole, her and Charlie, they all talked about, family, like get married young, have kids, da, da, da. They stress how important family was. And in such a horrific time as this, is where you've lost the father of your family, you would think that that's all she'd be focused on, not the business. Like, get someone else to help you with that. The people will understand. Like, your coworkers will understand. Most of the people that work for Turning Point love them. Don't know how, they still do, but they love them. So they, of course, would have understood if she needed to take a hiatus or take some time off work, but she never did. And it just seems like she doesn't, like, obviously I know everyone grieves differently, but it's just been said so many times, like, people think the way she's grieving is very, very odd. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it is too. I do think it is odd. Like, why are you coming out presenting WWE style when you're supposed to be mourning? Like, and the fake tears, give it a rest. Everyone is tired of your fake tears. No one cares, Erika. Like, we're tired of seeing you dab a tissue to dry off non-existent tears, okay? The shooting that she was talking about, where she was like, people were literally filming, not knowing that there was an active shooter or where they could be. I actually do agree with that. That's one thing I'll say. What the fuck? Because I saw some of the clips from that dinner and like what people were reactions were when they had like seen the shooter and stuff. Some people were literally just sitting there like not giving a fuck. Like, Kash Patel just looked like he was like ready to call his Uber and go home. And it's just like, no wonder people don't believe that shit was real, because how are you gonna be so nonchalant when there's an active shooter? Like, you don't know if they're gonna go for you next. You don't know where this person is. So it's no wonder that people don't believe them. People are like starting to see behind the curtains, And I'm actually glad that people are starting to be like, yeah, we don't buy your lies. We don't give a fuck. Because it's about fucking time, These people they've had the world in the palm of their hand. They've literally had people just eating all the bullshit lies that they feed them. And now people are like, nah, we don't want your goop. Sorry, we don't want your slop anymore. Taken far too long. Like, the fact that he even got elected again, That blows my fucking mind. That never should have happened. And I just can't believe I'm living in a world where Donald Trump is the president again after his disastrous first term, which for some reason, some right-wingers and Republicans don't think that his first term was that bad. It was fucking horrific. And we could have seen this coming based on his first term. So I don't know, like, get your eyes checked. I don't know. I genuinely don't fucking know. And Erika Kirk's a fucking joke. And the only people I feel sorry for in the whole situation regarding the Kirks is their children. I feel so sorry for those kids because they're going to have, when they grow up, they're going to see literally everything that their dad said, their mom said, the lies that their mom told being exposed by other people online, and just like people debunking the things that their father said. And they're going to grow up obviously idolizing their parents. So that's going to be like a real shock for them. And I can only hope that, you know, they do grow up with an open mind and not like Charlie and Erika, because they're hypocrites, you know, and the kids are innocent. But yeah, that was just my 2 quid on the whole Erika Kirk video. Let me know what you think about this video. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal, but I am actually trying to film a lot today, so I should be pushing out some more content. Also, my camera is literally flashing. I need to charge it. I'm gonna actually end the video right now just before it dies, because if it dies, I will lose this and I will end it. I will end it if I have to record this again. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, buns.